What's going on, visionaries? I just want to come to you with a quick update on a platform that I've been earning some passive income on for the last year or so. I started February of 2018, and it's called Merch by Amazon. So for those that are not familiar, it is a print-on-demand platform that Amazon has, and you can upload t-shirt designs to it and sell your items there to earn money. So for those that aren't familiar with it, you can find more information about it at just Google Merch by Amazon, and you have to sign up for an account, but once you get approved for that account, then you will be able to start uploading, and it's a tiered process. So you start out with 10 slots and then advance to 25 slots and on from there based on the sales that you get from the designs you upload. So for those that are just starting out with Merch by Amazon, I just want to quickly share with you what my journey has been so far on the platform and some things that I learned along the way that might be helpful to you. So I hope you enjoy this video. So I just want to start and show you kind of what my progress has been month to month. So the chart that I have here generally walks you through when I started in February. So just to backtrack a little bit, I got approved. I submitted to get approved in January, and it was like the second week of January, and so I was patiently waiting. I heard some feedback from people in forums and things of that nature that it took a while for them to get approved, and others got approved pretty quickly. So I was happy to see that I got approved within a couple of weeks of applying. So once that happened, it was kind of like, okay, what do I do now? Luckily, I had, in those 2 weeks, had been uploading some designs, playing around with designs and uploading designs to Teespring just to see what the POD environment, print-on-demand environment was like in general. So from doing that, uploading there, kind of worked out some designs that actually from day one have been my best sellers from then on. Others I've designed since then have gotten decent traction on Amazon and other PODs, but the 2 to 3 designs that I started out with to begin with are still my biggest sellers. So as you can see from February, when I initially started, you can see that I started out with a whopping 3 sales that month. That was 3 designs that I actually bought myself. So the 2 to 3 designs that I was mentioning were my best sellers, are my best sellers to this day. Those were 3 that I ordered for me and my son and my husband. So generally just to see what the quality of the shirts were to begin with, and kind of a way to start getting them ranked in search, playing around with keywords, things of that nature, and then buying your own designs is a great way to get you out of tier 10. So that was essentially what happened in February, March, and April. I started getting organic traffic and some sales there, and beyond March, April, I didn't buy any of my designs anymore. So at that point I was out of tier 10, and during the April, May, June portion of my time on merch, I saw that people were getting tiered up pretty quickly. So I went from like tier 10 to tier 100 with only probably 40 something sales at the time. So that was really encouraging, considering that I was missing some of the major holidays. I would say 80 to 90% of my shirts are evergreen anyway, so it was good for me to build my portfolio and get into a practice of building evergreen designs and not focusing too much on holidays. But then when you saw or were new to groups and seeing people in groups that had sales that well surpassed what I was doing, because they took advantage of Mother's Day, Father's Day, Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day, that sort of thing, things that I was missing because I was just getting up to speed on the platform and just trying to make sure that I had quality designs up there that were going to continue to sell. One trend, I guess you can call it a trend, in May, I did make some good graduation sales. I found a niche that will allow me to break into that, but a majority of my sales at that time were still evergreen for the most part. In June, I might have sold 1 or 2 Father's Day shirts, but still, again, not relying on trends to get the sales at this point. Here too, I was just joining Facebook groups and other forums, trying to figure out what kind of tools folks were using. So for my designs, initially starting out, I used Canva to design in. I know some folks use software on their phone, and others that are more advanced in graphic design use Photoshop, but I found Canva to be just suitable enough for the designs that I was doing. And I have a little bit of background in graphic design, more kind of website focused, and ad, print, copy, things of that nature, not necessarily t-shirt designs. But from what I knew there, I was easily able to use that. And then too, I was using a mixture of Canva and Pixlr. Now Canva, I had to go ahead and get a subscription to that, pay for a subscription to that, because for you to download transparent backgrounds, and most of my designs go on black t-shirts, so I had to download the transparent images onto t-shirts, and so I had to pay for Canva. But Pixlr is totally free, so if you don't know about that, I can leave links below as well. But that is primarily what I used for the most part until probably June, July timeframe. And then so I was hearing a lot about Merch Informer. Wanted to make sure that I was maximizing my keywords for SEO purposes on Amazon. So that's when I invested in Merch Informer. I still kind of think that the simplicity in which I code or keyword my descriptions are more intuitive than using the full capabilities of Merch Informer. So I probably still can utilize that more than I'm doing now. But I think that from September to October, that spike that you see there is more of me just concentrating and looking for ways to combine niches, and that worked for me. And I had one shirt that sold like crazy. Now, some folks, sell lots more shirts than I did in my first year. They sold way more. So crazy is when I'm talking about October. A shirt that had a third of my sales was one shirt, a Halloween shirt, and it just kind of blew up for me. So that's where I kind of almost doubled my September sales in October. November, coincidentally, I tied in October with November designs. Thanksgiving designs did okay for me, but there's 7 UK designs that I actually sold in November, so I tied with October in a grand total, because I had 95 total sales in November as well. So I think generally I was getting the hang of things. My designs that I had earlier on that were selling already continued to sell, and I was starting to pick up on some of the holidays, like Thanksgiving and Halloween at that time. And then that brings us into December, which is everybody has a pretty, for the most part, has a great December if they're up and running with merch for a while and have designs that are doing fairly well. Everything blows up in December, so you can see the sales there. But even though I had 227 sales, I was pricing certain shirts a little bit lower because I just wanted to get them, get a sale, get them up, get them ranking, so that I can fare pretty well in January, because we all know that the January is a drop off, or at least I kept hearing the fourth quarter, and then going back to the first quarter is kind of a bummer if you don't have a catalog of things that are selling already. So January, I think I did decent. It definitely is a far cry from my last January, so I always look at it that way instead of in comparison to Q4 and comparison to December. So I hope to continue to have a good trend. And now so also the transition from September to December, I went from tier 100 to tier 500 or whatever's in the middle. It's like a blur for me now, but I guess tier 100 and then 200 and 500, I can't even remember back that far. It's funny, but so the October through December sales is also attributed to having a much larger number of slots. So definitely I think actually in October, November, December, I was at 1,000 slots by then. So don't remember if I had them all filled, but I was pushing pretty hard to have them filled before Christmas time. So I probably did definitely in December. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with my first year. I mean, in comparison to some people, I'm, selling peanuts here, but for me and the pace at which I was able to upload designs, and I'm doing this, part-time passive income, not a full-time focus for now. So I think it went fairly well. So that's where I'll leave this video, but I'll definitely add others talking about my experience generally on Amazon. And for those that are not currently on Merch by Amazon or want to know more and have questions for me, I can definitely do some more introductory videos for beginners as well, so you guys can get up to speed on what it is and how to use it and the ins and outs of that. So for now, thank you for listening. Hope to see you next time. I'll be adding more videos on Merch by Amazon, but wanted to share my first year with you. Thank you, and until next time, peace.